To stop the bout immediately. The bout will result in a no decision if stopped before 4 completed rounds.
Okay, out Harold. Now let's see what Draculich is about to say. Thank you very much for reading the rule.
The second blow resulted on the knockout was legal, and therefore there is in fact the knockout, and it was made simultaneous with the bell.
That's the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
A little bit of controversy in the Rigondeaux fight. We're here live real time.
Was in fact a legal blow. And
well, this video has been recorded.
At or before the sounding of the bell, and therefore legal, it is a knockout.
First round knockout by Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's now 18-0 with 12 KOs.
We have determined that the punch that caused the knockdown was in fact made at or about the bell, and therefore illegal, and it is a knockout.
They're explaining it to Moises Flores, the plaintiff.
Ready to tell what the official call was.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission has ruled that the final punch that landed at the end of the last round was a legal punch, resulting in a knockout, and the winner by knockout victory, and is still the super champion, and now recognized as the all-over WBA super bantamweight champion of the world, still undefeated, Guillermo El Chapar Rigondeaux.
I wonder if Rigondeaux is going to do.
So Rigondeaux remains unbeaten. And remains the recognized champion of the junior featherweight division.
Damn it, I can't mute it. We're waiting to see if Rigondeaux is going to say anything. And in my opinion, you know, I think he's got to move up. I understand that he may be a little on the short side for 126. He's the Ring Magazine WBA Super World, and he was stripped of the WBO 122-pound champion. Oh, and he has the highly seductive and lucrative IBO title. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. The pay-per-view has been, put it this way, the first fight, Luis Arias versus Marif Magomedov, ended in a stoppage. The second fight, Dimitri Bivol versus Cedric Agnew, ended in a stoppage. This fight, the first round stoppage. This pay-per-view has been blowing by. Okay, interview.
But on our replay, it looked like the bell clearly rang. You both threw punches simultaneously. Yours landed, his missed, yours knocked him out. Can you describe how you experienced it? What happened from your point of view?
Bueno, eso cuando uno tira esa combinación ya va en el aire, pero los dos tiramos al mismo tiempo, pero la mía llegó primero, fue un golpe más rápido.
You know, when you're throwing it and it's in the air, it's when it's happening. We both threw the combinations at the same time, but mine was quicker, mine was in the air and got caught him.
You didn't look like you were having too many problems in the first round. You were in with an opponent who was aggressive, which means that you were likely to look good throughout the fight because he'd give you chances to counter. And yet, toward the end of that round, you held him behind the head and hit him 3 times. Why did you do that at the end of that round when it seemed as though you could have your way with him?
No, Flores es un boxeador alto que estilo mexicano, que es para adelante, y todo era cuestión de tiempo.
You know, Flores is tall, he's a Mexican style, he pushes, he presses, but it was only a matter of time, really.
Watching you in your corner, I assumed, while they were trying to figure out what they were going to do here, that you had to be a little nervous. What if they disqualified you and it went down as a loss? As avoided as you have been, that would have been more excuse for people to continue to avoid you. What were you thinking in the corner while you were waiting for them to figure out what the official verdict would be?
No, yo no me preocupo, yo peleo sin nervios, yo sé, siempre trato de hacer todo lo mejor que puedo y darle lo mejor de mí al pueblo. y todos los fanáticos, y es lo que he hecho hasta ahora.
I'm not worried. I fight with no nerves. I have no problems with that. And I just fight with to give the best to the public, to give the best to all the fans, and that's what I've done up to now.
In spite of your reputation as an overly defensive fighter, you have recently fractured a guy's jaw in a title defense, knocked a guy out now with one punch at the end of this first round, and have engaged in fights in which you've hurt and damaged your opponents. What do you think it's going to take for you to create enough demand for other top fighters to fight you?
Bueno, imagínate, si sigo desapareciendo a todos los 122, ahorita voy a tener que pelear con los árbitros.
You know, at 122, if I'm making everybody disappear at 122, what am I going to do? I'm going to fight against who? The refs?
Can you repeat what you told me the other day? You said that you would give all your belts away if the fighters who you gave them to would simply get in the ring with you. Can you explain that?
Bueno, sí, por supuesto, voy a regalar todos los cintos, el que lo quiera de los 122, y después yo voy y se lo quito. Yo se lo quito que lo tengo.
Yes, of course, I'm going to give them away to those guys, and let them come back into the ring, and I'll take them away from them. I'll take them away, like I told you.
In other words, you want to fight champions, and the only way to do it is to give them the belt. If they would agree to get in the ring,
Can't happen.
Bueno, por supuesto, a ver, ahora estoy aquí, sigo siendo el campeón. No quiero ser el mejor, pero sigo siendo el más completo. Quiero ver quién es el que se atreve y que me diga, estoy disponible.
Yes, I'm here, and I'm the champion, and I'm the most complete fighter, and I'm waiting to see who has the balls to come in.
it seems to me that it's unlikely that other 122-pound belt holders will fight you. If they don't, are you interested in a fight with Chocolatito, were he to move up and accept that challenge? In a catchweight fight, maybe? Are you interested in the same kind of situation for Lomachenko? Other super fighters around your weight division?
Nosotros peleamos, siempre estamos disponibles, nosotros nunca decimos que no. ¿Cuál es el próximo que sigue ahora?
I'm always available, I never say no. Tell me who's next.
So you would be interested in a catchweight fight with Chocolatito or Lomachenko?
Con el que quiera que me avise.
Whomever, let me know.
Is there anyone in particular you would like to fight? One fighter that you think, I want that guy, that would be a big fight.
A mí me sirven todos, cualquiera, todo.
Anyone, all of them, one by one.
Thank you, Guillermo. I look forward to seeing you fight again real soon. Jim?
I'm going to ask you if you've heard the...
People, listen. Let me tell you something. Rigondeaux has been around for quite some time, right? And my bad, I gotta bend over in my fucking... Anyway, people getting frustrated with him. You know, he's going to be 37 years old in September. So basically, the next time he steps into the ring, he's going to be 37 years old. He's only has 18 fights. He did start his career late. We all know, or if you don't know, you know, he's a Cuban defect, and a lot of those fighters, you know, careers, I guess you could say pro careers start late. Now, when you look at his last several fights, right? Moises Flores, by the way, I look at it like this, right? It was after the bell, but it was in the heat. If you didn't see the fight, you can go to my Instagram, all the links to my social media right down below in the description box. It was after the bell, but it was in the heat of some exchanges. So I feel that the right call was made. First round stoppage. And here's the thing. His last 4 fights, Flores, Jazzy Dickens, Drayan Francisco, and Hasashi Amagasa. 2 of those 4 fighters, Jazzy Dickens and Amagasa, he broke their jaws. Moises Flores, he knocked out in the first round, but it looked like to me that Flores was trying to sell. No, hey, listen, it was a hard shot. It was a hard shot. And then if you look at the replay, his body did twist with the shot, but it looked like he was trying to milk it. It looked like he was trying to milk the teats. My personal opinion. So now, when you look at the resume of Rigondeaux, the last big fight, or what should have been, not a big fight, but a fight that fans was interested in, was Joseph Abeko. And guess what? That was in 2013. We in 2017, yo. We damn near in July. It's June the 17th. And then before that, no need to there. And you know how long ago that was? That was ages ago. So I'm thinking, like, why is Max Kellerman asking about, you know, Roman Gonzalez, or as they say, Chocolatito, but I don't call him another grown man Chocolatito. Why is he asking about a man who's 2 weight divisions away? Chocolatito just moved up to what? What was that? 115 from 112. He's not even a champion. He's got to fight Sora Rungvisai for that WBC title again. So it's like that Roman Gonzalez fight can't happen this year or probably not even next year because it just can't. So looking at the 118-pound division, that's not really nothing there. What I'm saying is, Rigondeaux was in need of a big fight. And the big fights for him are at 126 pounds. He's 37 years old. He needs to test himself, and it's time for him to start making some real money. He's 37 years old. Now, in this day and age, being 37, you're not old in boxing. You're not old, but it's like, yo, we sick of seeing these fights against fighters that we don't know. Now, I know who Flores is. By the way, this Flores, if I'm correct, is still an Al Haymon fighter. He signed with Al Haymon in January of like 2015. This was like when PBC, was that when PBC first started? Around that time, I remember that. So, you think like, well, Rigondeaux can fight Al Haymon fighters. Also, he was close to signing with Al Haymon. Then he signed with Rock Nation. Something happened with, if I'm correct, the manager, Gary Hyde. I don't remember the exact story. But something happened that stopped Rigondeaux from signing with Al Haymon. Now, I feel that if he was with Al Haymon, even though Al Haymon is having some issues with some of his fighters as far as keeping them active, I feel that the options would have been more open for them. So one question that we saw tonight answered is that Rock Nation, who is the promoter of Rigondeaux, and Al Haymon can work together on some fights. You see what I'm saying? So looking at 126, I would love to see Rigondeaux versus a Gary Russell. I would love to see a Rigondeaux versus a Carl Frampton, even though Carl Frampton moved up in weight, and now he's even fighting at another weight division now. But Carl Frampton couldn't fight at 122 anymore. I would love to see him against Leo Santa Cruz, Adnan Maris, or Lee Selby. Give me a Scott Quigg, you know, Jojo Diaz. But yo, it's like this, right? He's talking, but they're not doing anything. And when it comes to Lomachenko, don't fall for the bullshit. The Lomachenko deal was out there. Go look it up. It was at a catch weight of 124, if I'm correct. Rigondeaux didn't want it. So, it's like, where does he really go? Because his mandatory is Shun Kubu. I don't know who he is, to be honest with you. And I know who a lot of these fighters is, but I'm guessing, what is he, Japanese? And his fights are likely not televised anywhere where I can fight. So let's go look at him. He's 12-0 with 9 KOs. Yeah, Japanese fighter. You know, we can't see his fights over here in the States. You know, so I got to do some research to find out who he is. So Rigondeaux is the WBA Super World. Shun Kubu is the WBA World, and he's supposed to be the mandatory. And you got number 2, Daniel Roman. Number 1 was Flores. He got obviously knocked out, if he tried to milk it or not. Number 3 is Tomoki Kameda. Is he still fighting? And then if you look at the rankings of the WBA, it's like, my God. And remember, when you're a champion, whether it's WBA, WBC, WBO, or the IBF, you can only defend your title against somebody that's ranked in the top 15 unless it's unification. So looking at the 122-pound division, you know, if Rigondeaux really wants to start making some money and he really wants the people to start believing in him, then yo, bro, you got to move up. Just my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion. Teacher Controversy is Teacher Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.